Hello everyone! Thank you for joining me today. My name is Ashley Hood and I am the lead color instructor here at Suki's Salons. Today we're going to be learning about signature color. Your three main takeaways from this video are going to be formulating for signature color, when to use a highlight versus a low light, and your placement of pieces. So let's get started. So first we're going to start with a basic root retouch and then go into our signature color. So now that you've finished your basic regrowth touch-up or your gray coverage, it's time to move into the signature color portion of it. Signature color can be accomplished one of three ways. It can be done with lowlights, highlights, or a combination of highlights and lowlights. For the signature color, the real reason that we do it is to either correct banding that might be in the hair, if the hair has excess fadage and they need a little bit of depth put back in, or if they need to help bring a little bit of the lightness that they have from the bottom back up to the top. You do have to make sure though that you do let your client know that doing a signature color application gives a little bit more of a natural end result. If they want the highlights that come directly out of the regrowth area, they might be better suited to do a color in between the foils or a regrowth touch-up, rinse, dry, and then go back in and do some highlights or balayage. Since we have the barrier of the color at the regrowth area first, you're not going to be able to penetrate right up to the regrowth with this technique. So when it comes to a signature color with just low lights, which is one of the more common things that we do in the salon, it's because perhaps the guest has experienced some fadage from the sun, they've gone a little bit bleached out, or their color has faded, but they want to have a little bit of multi-dimension to their hair. So by adding the low light, it helps to bring a little bit of that depth down into the hair, while letting the rest of their hair that's faded act as their highlight. At the end, it gives a really nice tonal difference and is very subtle as well. Again, the low lights will help if anyone has any banding throughout the hair that you need to correct, or if someone's trying to grow out old highlights, or they just feel like they're getting a little bit bleached out and they need some dimension and depth back in there. When it comes to a signature color, this should be no more than 10 foils. This is not meant to be a full head of color that you want to move into doing your highlights or something like that. This is really just a surface technique because a lot of the times the fadage is not in through the bottom, it's only in through the top. So you don't want to be doing any more than 10 foils maximum. So for my low light, and working just on the surface, I like to take it at a diagonal. So you can choose a slice section to get a little bit more coverage and impact, or you can choose a nice weave to give a natural end result. Be careful around the front of the hairline though. You don't want to add too much depth there unless they're asking for it, because then that could drastically alter their color and make them feel darker. So I'll just go in. And it's up to you if you choose to bring the color all the way down to the end of the hair to create a little bit of pieciness and separation. Or if you choose just to feather it down gently, just to add some depth in the interior of the hair and keeping the ends light. So again, with the low light, you can bring it all the way down to get some pieciness. Just make sure the ends are not too porous and then it won't absorb all of the color. Or you can feather down your color, leaving the ends out. Make sure if you are going to feather it, you do it on somewhat of an angle so it looks more natural. And then by leaving the ends out, this will create some depth back in the interior. But it also helps if there's any banding throughout the hair to connect all of them. I like to leave a fine veil at the top of the hair, no more than 1/2 inch thick, just to help make a really nice natural transition into the pieces you just placed.